Welcome to the podcast where markets meet perspective. I'm Manuela, your host. Together with my father, who shares his analytical market insights, we break down commodities, equities, geopolitics, and market sentiment. This content is for educational and informational purposes only, not investment advice. Welcome everyone to the podcast of this week. We will dive straight into the charts of the commodities for now, and then we'll discuss one stock that my dad has made 100% profit on. But first, the commodities.
Yeah, I will share my screen. Visible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we start with gold as usual. Like I said, a couple of weeks in a row now, gold is consolidating. You see it here now. So this is more or less, this is the bottom and this is the top. The tops are getting lower. It's still on the 50-day moving average. It's still above the 200-day moving average. So yeah, for me, all looks fine. I expect it will stay above this line. And from there going forward. And if the 200-day moves up to this blue line, then it's a very strong support for the gold price in the coming months. I got a cold this week, so maybe I'm a little bit nasal, but
We all have to bear with it.
yeah. So that's for gold. For silver, I want to highlight the silver this week. It has the same pattern as gold. So you see here, yeah, more or less this channel. The tops are getting lower also. The bottoms are maybe getting higher. If this is a bottom, we don't know for sure yet. Yeah, also here, if the 200-day moving average is coming on the same level as the blue line here, you have a pretty good support there. But for the very long term, I expect a lot of silver. I wrote a piece of today actually about silver, and yeah, people have to know that silver is coming a lot out of copper mines. So 70% of the production of silver is a byproduct of copper production. So if copper production goes down, silver production goes down. And I think this is the case. In Chile, there are big copper producers. And for the copper to get produced, to get out of the ore, you need a lot of sulfuric acid. And as you know, as I said last week also, sulfuric acid is a problem since the Strait of Hormuz is down.
Yes.
Is closed, yeah. So they can't get enough sulfuric acid to Chile, and that's becoming a problem probably in 1 or 2 months. So yeah, I think in the second half of this year, silver will rise again, and I will not be surprised if it looks this top again.
Okay.
So, and maybe above that. I
And
hear a
what
lot
would
of
you, sorry, what would you expect if the Strait of Hormuz will be closed for longer?
silver.
Yeah,
That
no,
is,
for longer, the Strait of Hormuz. So you say
yeah,
sulfuric acid is needed for the production of copper,
yeah,
and when copper is extracted, then silver, you can have it as a byproduct. And that's why you expect the total production of silver to be lower, and that's why the prices will rise. But now the Strait of Hormuz, maybe it will be closed for another 3, 4, 5, 6 months, or maybe
yeah.
even longer, who knows? What will then happen to the prices, do you think?
Yeah, it will shoot up more, I think.
Yeah.
So I estimated now that it's about the loss of silver production is about 10 million ounces a year. That's my estimation, and I always be conservative in my estimations.
Yeah.
So 10 million is not very much, but you must know that silver is already in a deficit for 5 years.
Yes, you
So
explained in earlier podcasts.
yeah, so each year you have a deficit in silver, and the deficit is almost a year of production now in those last 5 years. There's no that there is too less of silver production. So that adds up on the deficit. And if the Strait of Hormuz is being down or being closed longer, then this deficit also gets bigger.
Yeah, so what you're saying, we actually cannot afford this extra additional loss of the silver production.
Yeah, that's correct. It depends, of course, largely on the industrial demand. But I expect also the industrial demand of silver is getting very high. Yeah, it's getting very high. Also, there is a new push to new renewable energy forms like solar panels, and solar panels contains a lot of silver. Also, electronica needs a lot of silver. So in the war, you lose a lot. You need a lot of electronica also. So I expect that will rise also. And investor demand is already strong. So I also expect that will rise. You see, another aspect is that you see the vaults are getting more empty.
The national vaults, you mean?
Yeah, they are not national. They are of big banks, for example.
Okay.
Or exchanges where they have trades. So you have a London exchange, you have a Chicago exchange, and you have a Shanghai exchange. And those are big vaults with silver in it, but they are getting more empty by the day. So that can have huge implications. Some say it will have very huge implications. I'm not in that camp, not yet. I think this is a little bit panic to say silver goes to $300, silver goes to $1,000. I don't know. I only know I expect that it goes up in the second half of the year, and I expect the tops are taken out on this level. It's my expectation, but yeah.
And are you
let's
then
see.
also purchasing at the moment?
Silver itself?
Yeah.
No. I'm not accumulating now because
Why?
because I have enough.
Okay.
Is my yeah. If you don't have any silver or you don't have any gold, maybe it's a good time to buy. But yeah, gold is very expensive, at least for me. I think for the most people. For one coin, here it says $4,600. So it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Silver is poor man's gold. So yeah, for most people can buy that. So one coin is about $80.
That's doable for most people.
That's doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have enough. And you must see it as insurance. Huh? So if your
Definitely.
currency goes down, then this precious metals going up. That's basically the case. Platinum, yeah, it's the same basically. I think it will follow silver in that way. It's depending more largely on industrial demand. So I estimated that industrial demand will go up. But now with the new energy push from Europe, maybe that is getting a little bit downwards, this expectation, because people are buying more electrical cars again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and platinum is in catalyzers in cars, exhausting in the exhausting pipe of the car, of an petrol car, to be clear. Then uranium, yeah, it's still above its 50-day moving average, not doing much, to be honest, but I expect also this will rise. Last week I wrote something about it. Copper is doing very well, it's very strong, to be honest. I did expect that it will fall a little bit, but it's very strong. It's still above its 50-day moving average. So my expectation is also that it will stay there, but yeah, you never know. Then tin. Yeah, what I said last week, I like tin a lot. I'm looking for a new investment, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not made up my mind.
Okay.
Nickel, it's shooting up. And this is also a metal that is influenced a lot when there is no sulfuric acid or less
Okay.
sulfuric acid. It's produced, yeah, you can call Indonesia the Saudi Arabia of nickel. 60% of all the nickel comes from Indonesia.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, they had some environmental issues. Also that the nickel price is dropped too much here. And the producers and the government didn't like that, so they reduced the production already before the Strait of Hormuz was closed. And now the sulfuric acid problem kicks in, and I think this is because this rise is there. But I expect it will rise more if the trouble stays, if the strait
Yeah, because
closed.
Indonesia is quite dependent also on this trade, right?
It's very large dependent because they have what I in the top of my head, they have 2 months of sulfuric acid storage left.
Okay.
And when that is totally gone, then they can produce a little bit.
Little amounts. Yeah.
Yeah, little amounts, but they have to cut their production. But on a certain time, you have to stop your production if you don't have it anymore. And that has huge implications. So, and that could be going on, to be honest. So if I estimated for battery supplies, almost 50% is coming out of Indonesia.
Okay.
Of the nickel that is used for batteries. So yeah, that's huge.
Worldwide, you mean?
Worldwide, yeah, worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will write a piece about it next week. I have to order it.
It's quite interesting.
But those are a little bit the topics where I think about. So I think, yeah, nickel is doing a lot. And surprisingly, I did an investigation on my portfolio already. I will share that next week, but I thought I had not a lot of nickel in my portfolio, but I did.
Oh.
So because I bought some stocks there for other metals, and I knew, of course, that they produced nickel, but not in that large amount that I thought they did. So
you're also a nickel investor?
Yeah, you can say that.
By chance. Yeah.
By chance. Oil, yeah, today it's getting down, but you see the huge rise up. Yeah, it's about the closing and the opening and the closing, and then they have a peace deal, then not, and
Nothing new.
No, nothing new. You can also say nothing sensible about it. It's totally, yeah, depending on the day. And traders trade on it, so yeah. It's the same about WTI crude. Natural gas is getting a little bit up in America, so maybe this is the upward trend from now on. I don't know, but yeah, they sell a lot now, so maybe it will rise from this bottom. This is the European price. It's above its 50-day moving average again, as expected. This is cooking coal. And yeah, I'm glad with this because it's moving up to above its 50-day moving average again. So I like to see that, and also coal stocks are getting some increases in the price again. So, and the same applies for met coal. I really like this trend, to be honest. It's very strong. So I expect it will stay above its 50-day moving average also. Was it for the charts?
Okay, then let's see the stock that you made 100% profit on.
Yeah. That one. It's an oil stock and it's an oil driller, an Italian one. It's a very strong stock, to be honest. A strong company, I must say. The stock is also strong, but it's a very good company. Yeah, I bought it here somewhere in late October, November. I'm not sure anywhere, but with €2.30 and it's now 4.60. So I took profit this week. So there's a brand new 100% profit stock.
Okay.
But I will expect that it will rise from this level, maybe 1 or 2 times more.
And where does the
So
company operate? Do you know?
yeah, worldwide. These are all
Okay.
worldwide companies, the
Oh,
drillers.
because I was thinking, does Italy have huge oil fields?
Oh, no, oil fields maybe not, but North Africa has some oil fields, of course. So yeah, Italy is on the other side of the
Yeah, that's true.
Mediterranean Sea, of
They're in
course.
close proximity. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, these companies all work worldwide.
Worldwide.
So they can operate in the North Sea, or they can operate in the west coast of Africa, or the east coast, or in the Gulf of Mexico, or America, like what Mr. Trump wants. So yeah, but the drillers really had a bad time. Yeah, 10 years ago, up till now, actually. So there are not a large amount of drilling companies anymore left. And oil companies are getting more interested to drill, yeah, largely in offshore. I must say this is an offshore drilling company.
And what does that mean exactly? Is it then on the sea or?
Sea, yeah,
Okay.
in the sea bottom. So you need huge ships and
Yeah.
rigs for it. So yeah, there are not many companies left that can do that. And also the equipment is hired out for years to go. So yeah, the order book is quite full, and the equipment is getting old, so it has to be replaced. But the companies don't invest if they don't have enough, yeah, in foresight that they
That they will
can,
have
yeah,
enough
that
jobs
they can
in the
earn, yeah,
future. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, interesting. It's an
yeah,
interesting stock to follow.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. That was it for the stocks and commodities. We'll see each other next week. Welcome everyone to the section of geopolitics and the messages on X. Now we will be going over the geopolitics section, so we will talk about what is going on in the world and what can have influence on the stocks and commodities. And we'll also discuss some X messages that could be interesting. So let's start with the geopolitics section.
Yeah, okay, I'll share my screen again. At the bottom, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Starting off with Ghana.
yeah, with Ghana, yeah. Yeah, Ghana made some requirements, and that is, they have some legislations there, legislations, sorry, there, that if the surface mining, you must be wholly owned by the Ghanesians, and underground mining at least at half. So that had huge implications for the mining firms that are operating there, of course. And these three firms didn't do that in the full amount, so they can lose some production and some gains even. So
Yeah, because they're foreign companies.
they're foreign companies, yeah. This is Chinese company. This is an American, I believe, and this is, I'm not sure here. I think American or Canadian, but I'm not sure there. The Eurozone, yeah, they starting to feel the implications of closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Energy prices rise, of course, we all see that. Also confidence plummets and the risk of stagflation, they say now. Yeah, it is to be expected, so it's not surprising. But yeah,
Still
if
something
it's
to worth to keep
yeah,
mentioning.
I'm a little bit surprised that there is not more panic, but yeah, I will show something in by the X messages also about this. I see some things coming that are not nice, but yeah, let's discuss it by the X messages. This is some president in not Malay, but another vice president, sorry, from Argentina, and he's tooting about the Falklands again. People that don't know that in the 80s, I believe, with Margaret Thatcher, there was a war going on between England and Argentina, and the Argentines they claimed the Falklands. They even sent ships and troops there. Then England says, okay, we don't want that, so we also sent some ships, and basically, in the end, England won after a couple of days, and they sent the Argentines away. But now they are shouting again that they want to claim the Falklands again.
They're trying for a second round.
Yeah, there are some commodities also over there. I forgot what it was, but yeah, they have some commodities there, so it's interesting to get those islands, of course. And probably it's also a bit strategic for Argentina to have those islands. Then experts from both countries are investigating a suspect Iranian drone attack onto Azerbaijani exclave of, yeah, I can't speak that, sorry. But that means that,
I think you pronounce it.
yeah. But that means the war is escalating to the neighboring countries. And that's a little bit surprising to me, to be honest, because, yeah, I think Iran has enough on its plate with the war
Yeah,
with
definitely.
America. Yeah, they're looking for more troubles, probably. I don't know. And this is quite a surprising news. Yeah, it's all years it's in the talks, but now it's getting some form. So 10 European countries join their marine defense force. And that's the UK, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, the Baltic states, and the Netherlands. Yeah, the Netherlands had always a very good marine corps until they scrutinized their budgets, but they are opening their budgets again, so large amounts of money will go into that. And this is also those are not landlocked countries that you see here, of course. So they all
Yeah, of
have
course.
navies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find that a little bit surprising, not in the geopolitical sense, because I think it's about time that you join forces, especially when America says we're going out of the NATO. You have to do something. But it's about the Europeans. It's mostly talk. So let's wait and see what happens here, if there really comes a joint force. That was it for the geopolitical section. Now we can go to the
X
text
messages.
messages.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a piece that I wrote last week. It's about our other service, and we bought a Japanese radiator firm. It's not this firm. It's just a made IE picture of a fantasy company.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, but we like the firm, so and also the outlook for it. So maybe have a look in it times. Then we start here. Yeah, it was quite surprising to me. Shell bought Arc Resources. So Arc Resources is a company in Canada. They have quite some land packages. So in other words, you can drill more wells if you want, and extend your capacity. But I thought I wrote, now I read that they have some 500,000 barrels. So that's quite a lot. Could be wrong about that, to be honest. But you see what, I sensed that a half year ago that the Canadian companies are getting more attractive, especially because of the geopolitical situation in the world. And I could be right there, because this header Exner period says there could be other buyouts. So other companies that are interested in Canadian companies. Shell made the first move here, but you can expect that Total Energies, Equinor, and BP, for example, and ConocoPhillips, also going on the market, because these are much larger companies than the Canadian companies. And in Canada they have large oil fields there. So that Shell makes his first move, that's quite surprising to me, to be honest. It was an acquisition of 13 billion, I believe. So it was also good for my portfolio. We had the stock.
Yeah.
It shoot up in one day 22%. So I sold the stock,
On
not
that
because
same
of
day.
on the same day.
Okay.
So we made 30% on the stock. I did that. It's not a bad company. I wanted to keep it because I think it can make 100% when it stays. But I have enough Shell shares already. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason. And
It was just for the
we
sake of their portfolio.
yeah, and we still own other Canadian companies. So
Okay.
this is quite some good news. President Trump signed an agreement that a new pipeline can be developed. So yeah, it's important. So you have constraints from the north to the south, and this will help it. I'm not sure if you can get more Canadian oil to the south of America, because there are the most refineries.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have it there, and then you can pump the products back into the country again. I'm not sure if this pipeline is that, but it definitely will help somewhere.
And how long does it take to construct such a pipeline?
I didn't look at the miles they have to cover.
I can imagine this
Pipeline
can
is,
take years, right? If it's like a very long pipeline.
yeah, it depends or if it's already engineered or not.
Yeah, okay.
If it's engineered and building it is mostly 1-2 years. But it's also depending on how many kilometers you have to
Of
get.
course,
If
yeah.
if you have to do 1,000, then
Yeah, so this is not a quick win, it's more for the long term.
yeah.
Yeah.
But last month or a month before that, we bought an ETF via an option construction, um, and yeah, I think this will benefit a lot from also this pipeline. So there are mostly pipeline firms in that ETF, so it will benefit from this. Nickel prices, yeah, you see them already shooting up, of course. Yeah, I will write a piece about this next week, what I said. I expect it will rise from these levels, even from these levels, and maybe 2 times higher. I don't know, but if the Strait of Hormuz stay closed, then you probably can expect that. If it opens, then it could drop again. But yeah, I
But do you
think the
think
prices
it would
will
fully drop
not
or only
fully.
for, yeah,
Yeah, for a large part it will drop, I think, but it stays higher than the prices from last year, is my
okay.
expectation. So then Willem Middelkoop, the message on X, and he says, "Follow the money," and that's a good quote actually. What you see here is the export of U.S. crude oil. And you see here until, what is it, 2014, they exported nothing, not a drop. And since then, they started to export. And you see it's rising more rapidly. And since Trump made this move in Iran, it's rising a lot because
Yeah,
there are getting a lot of ships are going to America to get oil.
yeah, yeah.
So the traders are already in panic. So I say I am surprised that nobody panics, but the traders are already in panic. Of course, they have to get the oil for the refineries in the east, um, but they're getting that from America. And also read that from Venezuela, the oil goes to America and they sell it
Yeah, of course.
also there. Yeah. But yeah, this is a good quote. Follow the money, and here you can see where the money really flows. So yeah, to America in this case. Then no fertilizer. This is the daily volume of fertilizer-related outbound shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, and here you can see clearly that no ships are passing. So also no fertilizer is passing. And yeah, like I said a couple of times earlier, this can have huge implications on food-related commodities, so soft commodities. And you see already rising prices now. To be honest, a week ago it dropped a little bit, but now they are rising quite a lot. So I think they will, yeah, they keep on rising. This is the oil inventories, and this is the reason why I say I don't. Yeah, I'm a little bit, not a little bit. I'm very surprised that there is not a lot more panic in the world, because you see the oil inventories. This is the line for 2026. These are other lines of other years. Yeah, this is an projection, I believe, until what is it?
June.
June, eh?
Mhm.
June, February, yeah, June. So next month, yeah, it's quite a drop from May till June, and next month will probably lower. So
Yeah.
if you follow this line, then you
And
know
it's never
somewhere
been that
it's
low before, if you see
no,
the
it's
graph.
never been this low. And implications of that, if everything is empty, then you don't have any stock left, strategic stock. So the totally inventories of oil are totally gone then. This will take, if you can build it up, and it's a big if, then it will take months and years to build it up.
To recover, you
So
mean, to
to
the original
recover, yeah,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm surprised that there is not more panic in the world. And the same applies for natural gas. So in Europe, the natural gas stack levels I've showed you a couple of times. And they're still not filling it up with the rate they're supposed to be filling it up. So yeah, I think we can have some more shocks.
Yeah, because also you mentioned in a previous episodes that a while ago, I don't remember which year you said it was, people in the Netherlands were asked to not drive anymore on a Sunday to limit traffic. But at the moment, nothing is being asked of the citizens.
No, not asked yet, but there are some talks about it in
Okay.
the government, and they're already making balloons up in the air from okay, maybe it's a good idea that people work at home
Yeah,
because of
yeah, yeah.
this. So I also read a lot of tweets that people are afraid that we come in a kind of COVID situation, that you have
Yeah,
to stay at
second
home.
pandemic.
Yeah, about these things.
Hmm.
So yeah. So there are already talks about it. So there are plans to yeah, get this in control, but you won't get it in control with people staying at home. You just have to drill for more oil and gas. That's it.
Of
You
course, but
have
you
your own
might prolong
supplies.
the period a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I don't expect it will do much, but yeah, that's my expectation. Especially for natural gas, not. Valuations. This is a tweet by Oliver Groth. And he says the valuations of the big gold companies, this is a gold company, this is a royalty company, are very good. So historically, he sees that the valuations are still low, so we can have some more gains in place. I think investors are still a little bit cautious. And if gold prices and silver prices shoot up again, then they will also buy stocks. And this is the article of this week. I already posted it to my members and also on X. It's now in Dutch, but I will post it in English also this afternoon or evening.
It's about silver and other precious metals, right?
Yeah, about the implications of sulfuric acid on
the precious metals. Yeah.
On the precious metals and on copper, and
Okay.
by that on silver, especially.
Okay,
That was it.
interesting. I will read it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your insights. And we'll see
Thank
each
you.
other next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
If you're finding this video helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps the channel grow and allows us to continue creating valuable content. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. If you want deeper market insights, model portfolios and high-quality research, make sure to visit the InvestorAssistancePro.com website and subscribe to our paid services. We should remind you that we do not provide investment advice in all our services. For free tools, tips and educational content, check out beleggershulp.nl. If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.